Hello, good morning, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Appreciate you. So I've been thinking a lot about Demir Basim lately. Deck that we were loving, top 8 of the first challenge we played with the deck. Um, and I just have been so remiss that the other build of the deck wasn't able to play Psychic Frog. I think maybe to show how we got here, it'd be good to pull up the first build, although I guess it was really like the third build. Oh, sorry. I had to scroll to the ass category of decks here. Oh, that one's this is experimental Goryo's Basim. Not ready yet. It was not meant for viewers' eyes. So we had this build with Imri and the One Ring. And it's really nice that you get to play like 12 cheap legends that complement the pitch spells. You get to play Saga for life gain. But I was just so remiss that we weren't able to play Psychic Frog in this deck. I was also pretty upset about the Urza Sagas to some extent. Or like not upset, but like I didn't like the Sagas were like a very necessary thing in that deck for Imri to be a playable card. And also the rings were largely in that build also for Imri. Without the Urza Saga targets, without the rings, Imri just doesn't have enough artifacts in the deck to be playable. And so then, in a big way, this is a big part of the reason why we're playing the ring in that deck. But I didn't love having to play Urza Saga in this format, where like Boros is just kind of like faster than Saga tokens a lot of the time. I didn't like Saga very much in this Wrath of the Skies format. Saga's not very good against Natu. It just like Saga's kind of good against no decks in this metagame, but it's like Saga's like kind of this important tool, so you can have some life gain and you can have enough targets for Imri. So I'm like, let's rethink the deck. What if we cut the Imri Saga ring package? And when you do this, the deck opens up a lot because you get to cut the Saga targets. You get to go down a couple lands effectively because your color sources are less restrictive. Your Basims are like a lot easier to cast without 4 colorless lands. And you also you can kind of play Psychic Frog over the ring. And so looking at this, I love that the curve is lower. I love that the mana is better. I love that we're not playing Urza Saga in this format. And we still have a ton of card advantage sources with Tamiyo, Basim, Psychic Frog, and then I've also reached here for Sylvoon. Sylvoon's kind of a weird one to play in this deck, but it serves a couple of really important roles of giving you more legends for your Mox Ambers, more legends for your Basim triggers, and also like gives you a somewhat beefy creature to attack and win the game with. I think that's kind of important. Sheoldred also does this to some extent. Sheoldred will gain a lot of life with Frog, Basim, Sylvoon. Sheoldred, I think, just kind of pretty good in general in this metagame. And what's also nice about this deck is all of our creatures are pretty big toughness-wise. Basim is usually a 3/3 on the second turn you play it. Psychic Frog is kind of it can be very big and very tough. Tamiyo has 3 toughness, Sylvoon has 4 toughness, Sheoldred has 5. And so we're actually like a really good deck to main deck Toxic Deluge. And being able to main deck Toxic Deluge in this format, I think, is incredibly nice. Incredibly nice format to main deck Toxic Deluge. Also, with all these extra slots, not only do we get to main deck Toxic Deluge, we get to main... Why not Drown in Luck? Drown in Luck is not good in your deck unless you have a good amount of discard spells. Okay, so this hand is really good if we can surveil into a land. Let's just go to Mulligan, the one-lander, though. Alright, keep this one. Yeah, Drown in Luck is not a very good option in your deck unless you're playing discard spells, I think. It's just not going to do anything on turn 2. Can someone explain Sylvoon with no other merfolk? Okay, so let's read Sylvoon, right? Let's evaluate this card without any other merfolk. It's a 3/4. 3/4 when it attacks, draw a card, and it's a legend. This is just by itself, I think, enough to make the deck. Do you like Creation of Avacyn in the Goryo deck? Not if we're trying to hit Emrakul only, but like in like regular Goryos, I think it's kind of interesting. It's not a card I've played yet. It's a card I would love to play. We'll see. Alright, we'll keep that Fatal Push. How many cube tokens am I getting? I only got the one that we got on stream. Oh, I totally missed this Devourer. Fuck. Sorry about that. I would not have kept this Fatal Push. That's okay, though. We got a lot of sideboard cards for Tron. Got 4 Break the Ice, 2 Consign to Memory today. Oh, that's another thing, is like Break the Ice is like just such an important tool against these decks. But it's very, very difficult to play Break the Ice in the or like a lot of Break the Ices in the Saga build, but this build gets to play Break the Ice really easy peasy. What do I replace Sheoldred with, assuming it's too expensive? The One Ring, probably. I don't know. More Sylvoons, maybe. Is your favorite deck so far the Mono Green Eldrazi deck? I don't know. My favorite deck changes constantly. Alright, Spell Snare that. Okay, that's a good pickup. So we're up against the Through the Breach list, which doesn't have no Fatal Push targets if they're playing Seer. They don't always play Seer, I think. I think we're just going to not discard anything to this frog yet. Did you vintage cube QQ? Yeah, I trophied the first league we played on stream, and I probably played like 8 other leagues. I lost in the finals a lot. I probably lost in the finals 5 or 6 times, but I didn't get another token. How are you feeling for the 64s? I honestly don't think I'm feeling great for the 64s. I will certainly try my best. A little bit risky to counter this, and then run into it through the breach or ring, but the ability to draw bunch of cards a turn is pretty nice. We can find another Force of Negation or like our Spell Pierce. So it wouldn't be too bad here, but I think we just kind of have this effect locked up, And I think at this point, let's go ahead and start growing the frogs. These Fatal Pushes are not going to do anything. Alright, Monday morning on twitch.tv/SpyingSpike, I guess. On 2 Sewers. Alright, Devour isn't the least beatable card here. Okay, we have 19 lands in this deck, by the way. Let's go ahead and get this large and in charge. So I've drawn 1 card this turn. I could also channel this Takenuma. Rob, with 20 months, thank you, welcome back. Appreciate you. We need them to be flooded, although they can't be that flooded because they have the Solace Dust, but they can't quite cast it this turn. Influre and Flow with the 6 months. Appreciate you. Welcome back. Alright. To game 2. They're bringing these Break the Ice. I'm bringing the Consign to Memories, and I think I want the other Spell Pierces. Like, I really don't want these Fatal Pushes, the Toxic Deluges, or the Subtleties. We may play some number of these. But I wouldn't mind the Narsets either, where they stop Ring, they make Kozak's command on their turn a little bit awkward, and they also just dig me for Break the Ices and Consigns and Force of Negations, and they're also, like, legendary for Basim Mox Amber. Alright, let's do this. Rob 28, Inferno for the 6, appreciate you. Snare stays in. Sorry, I probably should have cut the snares. I don't know why I always forget to in this matchup. Mulligan last game. This hand is close. I think on the draw I would keep it on the play after Mulligan. Let's go to 5. Alright, keep this one. Let's put back Sylvoon. Snare. And then we'll, be looking for our second land. We get a lot of looks. Break the Ice is obviously super nice card, but we just need to find second land. We don't really have the luxury, I think. Unmulligan me, Basim. I think you rob for the 28 and Infern Flow for the 6. And Wander with the 13. Yeah, they Bajuka Bog me. Excited to get to play more Psychic Frogs today. Ooh. Talisman! Nice. Yeah, Basim into Amber into 1 mana removal spell or interactive spells is pretty dang nice. I do think I want to go for Narset this turn. This way I can, minus Narset twice and dig for, Break the Ices specifically. This was a mulligan to 5. Basim is already unmulliganed us, both back up to 7. Kinda. If they have a ring here, it's not so bad. They imprint nothing with the Ugin's Lab. They play a Vexing Bauble, which is interesting. Let's go to minus this Narset. Grab that Force of Negation. Punts with the 60 months. Appreciate you. Welcome back. $19 months. Building Basim and paper. Only 3 more members. Let's go. I think I only have 3 Mox Ambers myself. Well, I'm not sure. I'm not really sure what I'm building in paper magic at the moment anyways. Alright, Basim is up to 5/5. So let's go ahead and just draw a card off the clue token. And then I can cast Tamiyo, flip this Tamiyo maybe. Yeah, it seems fine. So cast this Tamiyo, draw a card off Basim. Flip Adelphia. Nice. Could bring back Break the Ice next turn. Okay, so that was a good game 2. Then mulligan to 5. Mulligan to 6 game 1. Let's keep a good 7. Game 3. Alright, I'll consider this a good 7. I would consider this a great 7, actually. How many vintage tokens you did with? Only the one. I played a bunch. I lost in the finals a lot. Just did not get it, you know, did not get another one. Didn't open a lot of power. You know, could have played better for sure, as you always can. Keeping Snare, sorry. The Snare was good that game. I don't know why, sorry. I should, again, have brought it out. It's kind of interesting. Do I keep the Pierce or do I keep the Consign? I think I keep the Consign. Although Pierce is, of course, better against Through the Breach, which we may be a little weak to this game. Maybe not. Third Basim. Okay, nice. Force of Negation. Really good pickup. Is the event not up anymore? Yeah, it was only up for like a few days. I probably play like 10 leagues and only got the 1 queue. But maybe we can get lucky. Yeah, looks like it didn't really matter too much. Alright, let's go ahead and just start off with Bauble. Finding ourselves a Tamiyo. Let me see what they're drawing. Cavern of Souls is interesting. I'm really on the Tamiyo here. It makes me like not have to Force of Negation a ring, probably. And then, of course, digging for Break the Ice is really nice. So next turn we get to go Tamiyo off the Otawara, draw a card, and then Break the Ice. Yeah, just, you can have that. They could draw an extra card every turn. We also have Sheoldred, and like they're just not going to have a very effective ring. No reason to attack with the Basim. But next turn, or if we can flip Tamiyo, then we can try to get this Break the Ice back. Can't flip the Tamiyo this turn. They consider going Rona combo route with this list. I have considered Rona combo with Relic of Legends. I don't think that build's very good, but I'm working on a Goryo's build. That needs a little bit more work. We'll hopefully play this at some point this week with Rona. I built a green-black version of the Naya Fnatic deck you're playing last weekend. Green-black version of the Naya deck is so funny. We played a green-black with Archon and Shifting Woodlands. But I see what you're saying. Yeah, I've also been thinking about this Tarmogoyf, Nethergoyf, green-black. I just have another one of these. Oh, then they don't even get to draw their cards, so yeah, let's just let this go. The deck list on my Mox. So the other one, I don't post deck lists until they're ready for stream. That one's just not ready for stream. Yeah, I don't know if you want to play Saga in this build. It's kind of interesting. I just haven't been like loving Saga in general, but for the extra types, it's kind of nice. Looks like a good draft. Oh, this needs to be a ring deck. If you're gonna play, you need for Fnatic, like you just need the ring to like ramp into. I think, although 6 also helps. Yeah, I might just cut the Saga package and play rings. Maybe Sheoldreds, maybe not Sheoldreds. Kind of funny. Just let that go. Let's take a land here. I think. What if I should just slam Sheoldred? It's gonna kill them super fast. Yeah, seems Seems probably right. With Spell Pierce, Force of Negation up. So down to 15, down to 13. My one regret is that they can't draw enough cards. For my they can't draw cards with the Narset for me to kill them with the Sheoldred. 3, 4. Yeah, they're 1 mana short of casting a Devourer. Devourer would be pretty bad for me. Okay, and they just concede. Alright, good start after, you know, kind of a tough game 1. In a spot where we had 2 Psychic Frogs, surveilled Sylvoon to the yard looking for murder action, then drew like 4 lands in a row. So we're up against Gigantha. Against Gigantha, I'm actually going to keep, because they're like pretty likely to be Boros. And we just have the Toxic Deluge. I think I'm going to keep this push for the same reason. What's the thought process behind Sylvoon? Do you think it's a good card that enables an Amber? Yeah, and it also, like, again, I think it is important for us to have like one more kind of beefy beatdown creature. How about like the new Omniscience list in Mardu? I don't know. I think that it's, for me, Ranger Captain has got to be better than Ob, and like, because if they're playing Nightmare, it has to be better. Ob is like really good if you curve into it, and like that is not nothing. But if your opponent just goes disruption, it's tough. If you're on the draw in the Mire, I think it's also not super good. I could be wrong though. Could also be, I don't know. It could be good to like try to make them play into the Deluge a little bit more. Not sure. Yeah, also draws up Basim. Yeah, I think it just fits the role. I agree it's, you know, one of the weaker cards of the deck. Best draw is probably Frog. Alright, save that for Basim. Yeah, I looked at every blue-black legend. Like, it would be great if we could play Satoro, but Satoro really isn't that good. Unless you're playing, like, Norin or Bloodghast. Like, a bunch of, like... You have to be really in on those kind of synergies. They hit a Blood Moon, which is bad, but... We at least have... 2 of our basics, and then Mox Amber can, like, help us get our 3rd color. And they also have no white mana. This may be okay. Okay, well... I wouldn't exactly call Sylvoon right on time, but... If we can draw a Tamiyo or a Basim, we can cast this Sylvoon. Reboots the Toro, Chthonian Nightmare. Shenanigans? Yeah, that was actually the first MH3 deck we trophied with. Opponent gets a Gigantha into their hand. Gotta milk this Toxic Deluge, I guess. The token you got can be used this week during the 64-player draft. Then from Friday this week to Monday next week, the next feeder league is... Oh, there's another one! Okay, awesome. You can only get to use 8 total tokens. So that's a good structure. I did know it started this Wednesday. Okay, opponent... Very interesting of them to not play this Gigantha. A little weird. Got a lot of good top decks. Frog, Tamiyo, Basim, Fatal Push. Why are they not playing the Gigantha? Like, how do they know to play around this Deluge? So weird. They not think they can play it? Down to 9. Now they play it? So weird. Now it's a little awkward. I can't Basim first. They just have 2 bolts. Should we hand hider for game 3? For games 2 and 3? Let's just put up the hand hider. Just in case. I think we can fetch around Blood Moon. I mostly want to be able to answer Plage post sports. Want to bring these in. Do you think Boros Energy is going to be broken with Naughty Good spans? I don't think so. It's like, the deck is really powerful, but it's like, it's pretty weak to the ring, which is why everyone's complaining about the ring, is because everyone loves to play Boros. Could also bring a Needle. Names hits Amulet, hits a Johnny. I don't hate the first Spell Pierce or the first Force, but maybe I'll just play Needle over it. Everyone loves to play Boros, which is why everyone's complaining about the ring. It's really weak to a lot of things. It's weak to Tron, it's weak to Necro, it's just like... Or maybe it's not that weak to Necro, but it ain't that good against Necro either. Alright. I like a Basim here. I like it enough to draw at least, so we'll... I think I'll actually just play Watery Grave tapped, so my life total can be a bit higher. It's probably a bit more important with this Deluge in my hand, and then I can go Island Swamp. Swamp Island. If they Galvanic Discharge my Frog, I think I'll just let it happen, actually. To be fair, you had no creature to block and was under Blood Moon. Play was safe in my eyes. I don't know. I actually think it makes like no sense to not play the Gigantha. To be honest, like the only way you would is if you suspected a Toxic Deluge, and I think it's like just very difficult to do that. I really am trying to like think of like why they would like me not having a creature to block is not, in my opinion, a good enough reason to not play the Gigantha there. You have to push the advantage. Like, I have 2 basics in play. You have no white mana. Gigantha is your only playable spell besides these bolts. It was a little weird. I'm not saying they were ghosting for sure, but to say that it was a good play is, I don't know, this doesn't feel super accurate. If anything, it's because they had 2 bolts and Solves on Mox Amber. I mean, that also doesn't make any sense, right? Because it's like, if I play legendary creature, I still get to tap the Amber for mana once. Like, they can just bolt it after they untap. It's okay. Again, they're not ghosting for sure, right? But I just think we should have the hand hider up here. That's all I'm saying. Okay, Amtraptor into Guide of Souls. 4 cards in their hand. And hider too low. Let's see. They're playing fast. No, they're playing fast game 1. Again, it's okay. How Vintage Cube shenanigans been going? I didn't end up getting any more than just the 1 token, but apparently there's another round of leagues. Okay, so I'm taking 5 down to 13. Let's go ahead and spellbomb them. Shao for the Twitch Prime. Appreciate you. Welcome back. Two cards left over there. I'm at 9 life points. Two cards left in their hand now. Running out the Subtlety. The last card is an Unstable Amulet. Pretty dang good last card. They hit a Ragavan off the Unstable Amulet. And then they top deck a Fable. Gonna be a tough one. I think they misplayed probably by not like at least dashing the Ragavan. Like sure they could play around another Deluge here. Right. Tough. Go to match 3. Is there gonna be a Bloomborough set review? Yeah, I have made the PowerPoint for Bloomborough. I haven't recorded yet because there's actually like way more to talk about than I thought. I've got 29 slides. I'm gonna do like one more pass over the cards, make sure I didn't miss anything, or try to not miss anything. Set I think is a little bit deeper than I initially expected. It's not gonna be like, it's not much more impactful than the average standard set, but there's a lot of cool stuff going on. Any alternatives to Savoon? I'm not sure. I'm definitely not married to the Savoons. You could main deck some Narsets, but I think we need maybe a little bit more juice. Hug with the 18 months. Thank you. Welcome back. Appreciate you. I lost the die roll. Ooh, pitch an Ugin. Got a lot of sideboard cards. The Surveil Lands are probably great at Miracles. Yeah, we played Miracles with the Surveil Lands when they first came out, and they were awesome, yeah. Could they be banning the ring anytime soon? I who knows? At this point, there's no way to predict what Wizards is going to do, or why they would do anything. It just, we have no control. It's all just baseless speculation, and there's a lot of lobbying, but I think, why don't we just try to enjoy the format that we have? I have like 7 decks I have built. I'm pretty excited to play, and like, several others I'm working on, and I'm focused on the moment. Yeah, Wizards mostly does things at random. There we get a power plant. Entropy Inju with the 30 months. Appreciate you. So if they Karn, will Subtlety. If they Ring, will Force. So you get to go Savoon, draw a card, hit them with the Basim, Subtlety up, maybe lucky enough to draw another Force. So we can go Tamiyo, draw a card off Basim, attack with Sylvoon, flip Tamiyo next turn. There's Tron. Acres. 7 mana. Hopefully it's not a Devourer. I want it to be an Ugin. They're having a hard time casting whatever this is. They've gone up to 9 mana now. Okay, and then they're floating 2. They target the right one as well. Alright, this is going to be tough. I don't think I'm supposed to Subtlety because the cast trigger on the next one's going to be pretty bad. Breaker, yeah, maybe. It wasn't, but it's very odd how they just, like, come that long. They just floated 2 extra mana and did nothing with it. You think Tron players could count the 7? Wouldn't Basim be really good at Nadu? Maybe. Okay, I want them to like put the Ugin in their hand, and then I can spell pierce the Ugin. Alright, this is good. This is good next game. Alright, Consign's in, Break the Ice is in. Spell pierces in, I think. I mean, I don't want the deluges. I don't want the pushes. I don't want the snares. Although they have a lot of talismans a lot of times, but we can cut the snares. I don't want that many subtleties, honestly. I think maybe 2 subtleties, but I think subtlety's not that good. I think that the Narsets were really performing well last time we played this matchup. I'm going to play 2-1. They just like dig for a million, break the ices. And you can cast them turn 2 if you have Tamiyo sometimes and Amber. Yeah, we can... Yeah, Devour's tough. We could just try to break the ice, Consign. We have some evasion. No lander. Lander. Am I doing a slideshow for Yeah, actually, I have the PowerPoint made. It's like 29 slides, so maybe we should put back the Sheoldred. It's pretty long. It's a bit longer than I expected it to be. I'm gonna try to find a day this week to record, but I'm not sure which day that'll be. Kind of busy today after the stream. If they play a talisman, I might force it. I don't know, I kind of like this. Just like, I got the Tamiyo as my card advantage engine, and then I just get to break the ice them out of the game. Well, Sabrina, because she's Deck Legend draws card. Yeah, that is exactly it. So if we draw a Mox Amber, we can flip Tamiyo. Okay, now we can flip Tamiyo next turn. They have another Tron piece. It'd be a little slow to flip Tamiyo plus get back to break the ice. Instead, we have made them stumble, and forcing the talisman stops them from being able to crack the map this turn, which is a big deal. Surprised she's powerful enough without any fishes support. Yeah, she's like, it's kind of borderline, but she triggers, but she has a lot of other synergy in the deck, you know? She's a legend for Basim. We're a deck that's playing 4 Mox Ambers. We're a deck that plays a lot of pitch spells. So we like the source of card advantage. We're a deck that kind of wants that extra beefy attacker. So she just, I think she performs her role pretty well. I guess maybe we should have cast the other Tamiyo instead of holding up the Consign. Consign feels a little bit safer, at least. I also get to overload this break the ice. In before Warping Whale? I guess I could play around Warping Whale by having the Consign up. Alright. Going to game 3. Like our sideboard plan. Any ideas what you may be playing for the RCQ season? I've got some ideas. I haven't really been thinking too much about it. I've just been mostly building decks. And like my answer for that would probably just change week to week. I think on the draw I'm going to keep this. Obviously, this hand's crazy if it draws a land, and not that good if it doesn't. But we have 3 looks on the draw, and we have double Consign, so we have some time even. Nath with the 19. Hope you're doing well. Points on a mold of 5. Is this deck even possible at Mox Amber? I mean, if you want to play a Basim deck, you almost definitely need to play 4 Mox Ambers and 4 Baubles. Yeah, it's pretty important. Also, a big part of the reason, I mean, getting to play 4 Break the Ice is awesome in this deck. You get to like buy it back with Tamiyo, but the Break the Ices were a lot more awkward with the Sagas in the build. And advice for getting the Moto IDK to get the deck slurred macros. So I would recommend using a rental service. Card Hoarder I think is better than Mana Traders, but it's hard to get into Card Hoarder. They have like very small windows when you can use or apply for their rental service. Mana Traders is open to everyone, but the service is worse. Yeah, with them being on the mulligan to 5, I think I need to force this map. Nice. Okay, let's actually save this Bauble to trigger Basim the next turn. Dog Potato, 30 months. Thank you, welcome back. Okay, they kept just a 1-lander. We need more Phyrexian Crater, Ballista Brew. The emergence of Borsigan could be good. Maybe. It's like a lot of the directions we were going with that deck became worse, where it makes a lot more sense to be more on ETBs than activated abilities, if that makes sense. I'm gonna save this Consign. You want to be more in on activated abilities, or ETBs than activated abilities with like Nightmare and Phyrexian Tower and a lot of these good cards, which makes it kind of tough. But certainly something to talk about, and I would love to play a build like that. And I agree that Phyrexian Crusader is very good against Boros. Potato 30, Blakey 35, appreciate y'all. So you can spell pierce this Talisman, which they should just definitely be playing because they missed a land drop. They won't be able to go like land anything else. So they have Kozilek's command, which will spell pierce that instead. Let's just go to combat. How many throws? I only got the 1 3-0. I played a bunch more. Ran kind of bad. Was kind of double queuing while like hanging out with Esther too, so maybe that was part of it. Why is this not... Okay, weird. Reed of the 36, happy 3 years, appreciate you. My name is not Reed, but I still love you. Okay, thank you, Reed. Appreciate the resub. Here comes the Kozilek's command. Am I going to consign this Talisman? Probably not. The consign is just so valuable. Shout out to all the Reeds in the chat. So we're going to print the Devour. Their hand is Talisman, and then whatever they cast here. It's a Myco spawn, so we can kick this. A lot of Eldrazi at the moment. Thankfully, there are a lot of very good cards against Eldrazi. So flip the Tamiyo. Okay, now we can play a Frog and then break the ice again next turn with Overload. My opponent's hand at the moment is just a Talisman. Seems like we'll be 2-1. Confused by those feeder leagues, or those only the weekends? Yeah, only the weekends at the moment. And it's a very odd structure. So they top deck the Thought-Knot Seer. I guess I'll just discard my hand. Second Overload to break the ice this match. Oh wait, I missed lethal though. Oh wait, sorry, they could jump. It's okay. They're done. Okay, 2-1. The problem is it's like, if you play the Asthma version, at that point it's very, very difficult to play Force of Negation, and if you can't play Force of Negation, you just kind of can't beat Wrath of Skies, and you're not good against the Wrath of Skies deck anyways, but it is just such a disaster. But if you just don't play Saga, like I think your matchup against Jeskai goes up so much, and it's just... yeah, I kind of feel like maybe all your matchups get better except for maybe Boros, where like Looping Ring is good against them with Emery, but you get to play Toxic Deluge now, and you're not playing Saga into their Blood Moons anymore. Like Blood Moon was like really tough to beat before. Maybe you need 2 Swamps for Moons. Well, you can Basim. Oh, what are they playing? Goros. Basim plus Mox Amber plus Swamp can cast Sheoldred. I don't think that's enough for. I don't think I don't think not being able to cast Sheoldred through Moon is exactly enough of a reason to not play the second swamp, but you could play the second swamp if you wanted to. Okay, let's go for Basim over the frog here. Can this deck be reasonable RCQ or just play for fun? Yeah, I think this deck's pretty good. Like we with the ring build, we top 8'd our first challenge we played with that deck, and I think that this build is like even a little bit better than the ring build, although it's close and still is less tested for sure. We're gonna block this frog. I don't think so. Not today. Why is no one playing Satoru anymore? I mean, Satoru still sees a little fringe play. It's good in some of the Nightmare builds with Frog. I do like that deck. Although I have an updated build of Nightmare that's mono black and is playing Fulminator Mage main deck. Kind of interesting which card they choose to take here. Take the Frog. Okay, maybe not that interesting. They got 3 cards still in their hand. Got a lot of good top decks. That's one of them. Keeping up with the card advantage of Psychic Frog. Spell Snare is really good against them. It's enough better than the average top deck, I think, to keep here. Any updates on Elves, or you take that 75 to Terminate? I wouldn't change it very much. I have been looking at it lately. I actually think if Nadu gets banned, there's a good chance that Elves is okay, but it is also really bad against Wrath this guy, so maybe not. Sam, 50 months, thank you, welcome back. Appreciate you. But hopped anymore on Jet Medallion Nightmare. Yeah, so I have a mono black list that's playing like two Nightmares. It's playing Ripples of Undeath. It's playing main deck Fulminator. That is the backup deck for today. Although I'm very excited about this list. There's a good chance we play this one for a while today. So they think about Prismatic Ending my Basim, then they remember that I have Force of Negation in my hand. So they play Archaeologist instead. That's kind of what that looks like. So I'm just going to snare this. Is Mox trolling a Savoon? See this guy in this deck without any other merfolk? It is in this deck without any other merfolk. It has a lot of synergy in this deck, despite not having the merfolk synergies. I know that it's a bit weird. Let me cook. Okay, good pickup. It's a legend for Basim. We're a deck that is pretty interested in... oh, sorry, I should play Watery Grave tapped. We're a deck that's pretty interested in playing... another cheap legend for Mox Amber. We're the deck that's interested in having more legends for Basim triggers. We're a deck that's interested in having another source of card advantage. A deck that's interested in having another creature that is good at attacking and killing your opponent. And Sylvoon just kind of does all these things. I agree that it is, a little questionable, but I'm into it. Wait, no attack? Guess they're at a pretty low life total, but they probably can't block. They have another blocker now. Was it worth cycling the Mox? Basim only triggers once a turn. We'd already triggered Basim that turn, so no. Yeah, so Savoon has seen a little bit of play as a standalone card before. I'm not the first person to do it. Like, it is kind of fringe for sure, but not unheard of as a standalone card. They already have a Tracks in the Yard. They do draw a full 2 here, though. Oh, sorry, never mind. Discard another Tainted Indulgence. For some reason, I thought they were drawing the extra one. Yeah, they might have shit the mono blue Sylvoon deck with like no other merfolk. With Pyroclasm's effects being more common to fight energy. Okay, well, GG. Do you think Murktide could play Delver plus Rough Tumble, or is Delver too Keck W? I wouldn't say Delver is too Keck W, but I also think you could just play Tamiyo DRC, right? You don't need to play Delver. I wouldn't love to play Delver, and it's like I would play Tamiyo DRC, Ledger Shredder, Murktide over any Delvers, and maybe over any Ragavans. Maybe Ragavan over Shredder, but Okay, so we're gonna bring in the Graveyard Hates, gonna bring in the Spell Pierces. Narset's also pretty nice against Frog, pretty nice again, or not that nice against Frog because they just kill it, but buys a little bit of time. I guess if they kill it and you still get to draw a card. Maybe Narset's not good against Frog. It's good against Indulgence. Okay, I mean, I want to cut... I guess Subtlety's fine against them. I'm going to trim one. I'm going to trim the Sylvoons. I'm going to cut the Deluges. I think I want to leave in 3 Push, 3 Subtlety. We'll play 1 Narset. Does that make sense? I think this looks okay. But Rough Tumble in Murktide actually sounds pretty cool. I definitely like the thought. I guess we're gonna keep. My opponent's kept 7. So I thought the ring was banned. Yeah, I guess I maybe should have thought that would happen, but it's also I don't know. And for me, it's kind of exciting when like I'm playing a deck with ring, and then I find a different build of the deck that, like there's like a good amount of reasons to just not play the ring. I think it's kind of interesting with all of the discourse that's been going around lately, and I think it's like an interesting thing to showcase, like why you don't need to play ring in every single deck, and it has different requirements and. Oh, in the old build, it's like more of a package with Imri and Urza Saga than it is like a mandatory include. So not holding up spell. Oh my gosh, we drew Mox Amber. I can't believe it. So now I wonder. Oh wow. I'm just thinking about using Tamiyo as something that will make my opponent discard 2 cards here versus just ignoring the frog. I think I'm gonna attack. Have I played a deck with New Soaring? Yeah, I've played some decks with New Soaring. Soaring's playable for sure. That card I like. Solitude Pitch Ephemerate. Have to force this, I think. If they lost 2 cards or Gore as a Traxa, we can't really win. But if we don't force this, we can't really play a creature because they'll just be able to rebound on anything, and our hand is all creatures. And I think I wanted to pitch the Spell Pierce because it is becoming kind of dead kind of quick, but we'll see. And then I think this turn we're just gonna slam Sheoldred. Yeah, the Knot of the Bone Soren thing is pretty cool. Do we need to float there? I mean, oh, sorry, I forgot that the Tommy was still in play. For some reason, I thought I was losing my ability to tap the Amber. So yeah, should not have floated. They shocked on the 13, then presumably they cast Indulgence. Discard Priest of Felrights, which in 2 turns could get back this Solitude at the cost of 3 life. Go down to 11 life points. They play Delta. Crack Delta. They have no breeding pool for like Prismatic Ending on 4. Instead, they spend 4 mana to... Oh, they're going to attack me with the Frog before the Supreme Verdict? Or... Oh, they just have a Grief. Okay, sure. That's certainly a better case scenario. Then I wonder, like, do they feel like they could ever attack? Yeah, they say no, which makes sense. Draw another Mox Amber. An interesting pickup. Let's go ahead and play this tapped, and then draw a card, gain 2. Can channel Takenuma here. So if my opponent discards a card with the Frog and then double blocks, I think that's okay with me because they have the Priest of Felrights for Solitude anyways. And then if they do that, then I get to flip Tamiyo on an empty board. And we make them discard a card also. Discard a Gorios. Okay, so let's go ahead and just Sack the Clue now so that we get to gain 2 extra life points. I guess I could have played to draw that. That would have been good. I think that's the word I'd use. Good. That being said, they got 1 card in their hand. They do have a Priest if all rights, but they don't have 5 mana to unearth it yet. They play Plains, so now they could unearth and they could get back Frog, Grief, Solitude. Probably not Solitude. They could. Isn't that Vigilance? Doesn't have Vigilance, right? Be kind of interesting. What do you think they get back? They get back Grief. Okay, so they're going to take my Fatal Push. I have the ability to just get back Fatal Push with Tamiyo. 1 card left in their hand. Yeah, so let's go ahead and sack the Clue. This gives me Revolt. Another Tamiyo is kind of interesting. Get back the Fatal Push. Fatal Push here, and then play Tamiyo, play Watery Grave untapped, play second Mox Amber so we can channel Takenuma end of turn. Yeah, moving this deck around Wrath the Skies I think is pretty good. Also better against Blood Moon, lower mana curve overall. But it's like, they shock. They must have something. Well, I do have something, but not something that can be thought seized. And let's go ahead and get a 4-1 prediction going. If they reveal Gigantha, I'll keep it. If they don't, I'll mulligan. No Gigantha, mulligan. Keeperoo. So I'm going to put back the Bauble, I think. We had 2 legends. Takenuma only gets discounted by legendary creatures, not planeswalkers. Will I keep a land here? Yes. Alright, probably Jeskai. Could be a few different things. Less likely to be Jeskai. Keeps a card on top. A little early for the Mire match. Oh, Goryo's again. Okay. Although, probably, maybe not Goryo's. Maybe they're like a Flare of Denial deck. Let's see if our Basim resolves. Basim. This is just so sick. This Basim into Amber, 1 mana interaction up. Okay, I don't think I'm going to push the Archaeologist here. Maybe to my own detriment. Okay, so they put a counterspell into their hand, but they chose not to use it. Instead, they're going for Tamiyo. So I think we should probably... Maybe I want them... Do I want them to counterspell my Fatal Push on their turn, and then that's their whole play, and I pitch Sylvoon? I think no. I think I want to just push now. So if you hear Athena whining, that's just taking Lucy to the vat, leaving it. Athena, you don't want to go. She had like a little bit of an ear infection. Maybe I should have surveilled. I'm just kind of thinking maybe if I draw Spell Snare, I get to go Sylvoon Spell Snare the counterspell. Let's surveil next turn also. Okay, so let's just go ahead and trade this for the counterspell. This way the Sylvoon has the ability to maybe get through next turn. So I'm going to have 1 card in their hand after this. Chromus with 24 months. Happy 2 years. Thank you. Welcome back. So, unfortunately for us, their last card is another Snapcaster. Or the 1 mystery card is another Snapcaster. So, I have to play around this spell, or this counterspell a bit more, and they get a top deck. Down to 13. Counterspell mystery card over there. Spell Snare would be awesome. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to Sheoldred. It's a bit more expensive, so I can double spell a bit easier next turn. Like if I draw Basim, I can go Basim, Sylvoon, draw a card. This also draws cards. Is it Goraz or just Dimir control? I think it's. I think this is Dimir control with Flare, because then they're trying to sack Flare to Archaeologist and Snapcaster. This is my working theory. So I'm down to 11. They have 2 mystery cards in their hand. They didn't play a land, although it wouldn't be that out of the question to think that they could have a land and a spell in their hand. I graveyard that. We have a lot of better top decks, and it feels a little mediocre here, but maybe it's better than I think. I'm gonna look at my top card. If I see like Spell Snare, I might wait a turn. Okay, just go ahead and play this. Pretty sure this is one challenges. Demira Flare of Denial. I'd love to see the list. If you got it. Yeah, I'm excited for Otter of Bolas. That card's going to be really nice for decks like this. Okay, I am out of Surveil land, so I'll just hold this for now to bluff that maybe I have something to interact with them. Mingu played today. Demir Control might be useless. Yeah, maybe. It was pretty good so far. Thank you, gangs. All right, congratulations to Jake. There's a lot of sink into the Stoopers. Interesting. 1 drown. 4 rings with no Sheoldred is very yikes. I don't know. I mean, obviously they won. I'm pretty surprised, at least. It's not Deluge yet. I might just run out the Subtlety to block, though. Sink for La Fly. You can't... it's for fly hits, I guess. I think Sink is busted. Sink is okay. Like, I think it's very surprising to me that this deck has 4 rings, 3 Sink into the Supers, and just no life gain. Like, I'm pretty concerned about our life total here. So maybe I'll Psychic or Toxic Deluge for 4? Let me see what my top card is. My own frog. Does it also have Deluge? I don't see Deluge at the main. Maybe it's just on the side. So I guess I'm a... Oh no, I can go Deluge on 4 and still play Frog. Obviously very awkward. Well, I guess I could go 2. I could go X equals 2, and then keep my Tamiyo alive, and then I could play my own Frog, and then I could go... And then they discard 1 now, just do it for 4. Yeah, this list isn't playing Snapcaster. Oh, they're playing the Reanimator build. Cool. So they do discard the Archon. We'll see if they have Persist. That would be less than good. If only a Psychic Frog could exile your opponent's graveyard, like similar to like Marco's build. But yeah, I guess I just don't understand why this deck just isn't playing like Sheoldred at all. It just seems like it would solve everything. Okay, there's an Archaeologist. They mill a Fatal Push, an Inquisitive Student, and a Tamiyo. They put the push into their hand. They push my Frog, I'm assuming. Oh, no, their other card was Persist. Okay, we go to game... okay, we go to game 2. Yikes. Okay, then, let's sideboard. I'm going to bring in the Nihil Spellbombs and the Hearse. If I want Narset in, I'm not sure. I don't think I really... I think I'll play 1 Subtlety. Maybe not even that. I want the Pierces pretty bad, I think. Maybe what... I think I want to go down to Force of Negation. No Subtleties. I guess the Deluges are bad. Yeah, no ring makes you play a lower curve. It's also like ring is part of like this package with Imri and Urza Saga. Urza Saga is pretty bad at the moment and also doesn't cast your 2-drops. makes your opening hands better. There's a lot of counterplay against the ring. We have a lot of other good sources of card advantage, so the ring is a lot less necessary because we have Basim and Frog and Tamiyo and Saloon as like lots of ways to draw cards. Definitely a very important format to have a low mana curve. I think I bottomed the Frog. I want to draw lands or zero mana artifact for Basim. I do want to keep up Snare on this next turn for Frog if I don't draw exactly Amber. Do you have an opinion on the Narset Frog Echo deck? It's very cool and not very good. So Graveyard to Tamiyo. So maybe they have like Tainted Indulgence or Bowmasters here. Spell Snare. Deals with both of those. Love to see zero mana artifact, but we can wait. We don't see one. I'm going to graveyard this. Could make an argument for keeping it. Nice. Incredibly good draw. So we get to play Basim with Spell Snare, Spell Pierce up, and then Mox Amber to have one of these up on their turn also. Has an Earth been mentioned at all? Random, it's all your creatures, and as a 1-of, could be good if there's some flex slots. I haven't really thought too much about it, but you could, for sure. Okay, they have double 1 mana counterspell. It's obviously less than ideal. Bummer. Counterspell or Fatal Push available to them. Yeah, it doesn't get back Sheoldred, it doesn't get back Subtlety. Could be okay. I'm not the biggest Unearth fan. When you don't have 3 drops, I guess we have Sheoldred. Could be okay. That's a Tamiyo that I don't have an answer for. Yeah, it's up for them to have 2 relevant 1 mana counter spells in that spot. Just cost us the ball game. Also, that mystery card being persist last game was pretty was also pretty tough. Is the Mirror Orange just a bad main deck card? Yeah, it's bad. I don't think the Orange Chant decks are good. Wouldn't I even hate the third Undercity Sewers after these games? Probably right to not play the third, but I feel like it's a combo. Alright, I do feel like I just can't get too buried under the Tamiyo, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop this. Tough game. But yeah, I don't think it was wrong to play the Basim when we did, but just didn't work out. Yeah, they're playing Frog. They're Demir reanimated. They're playing Frog. We also have seen Frog. Just gonna hardcast an Archon. Fast league today. So what is step 1 here? Basim into something maybe Frog, maybe push. Oh, on the list. Anyone do other Frog Asmo deck? I'm sure some people have 5-0'd and stuff, but it's pretty tough sell to play like just an Urza Saga Asmo deck in this format. Wrath of Sky, like Jeskai is super popular, and Wrath of Skies is just like 2 mana to win the game. And they play 4 of them in the main. It ain't a good time. Well, they got 5 cards in their hand. It's a lot more than I have. Any thoughts on Frog plus NT? I mean, it's just kind of cute, I guess, but the kind of decks that play these are very weak to Wrath the Skies. You may notice that this could be a recurring trend. Alright, so they're gonna use their Fatal Push here. I think I just probably force and hope their hand is like kind of awkward with like Archons and Persistent stuff. Oh, they have a Bowmaster. Can't Rat the Sky Kappa. Yeah, but they just Rat the Sky before Kappa comes down. They also can Rat the Sky Kappa. It's actually probably not even that tough. I've Rat the Sky as the Scion of Draco. And she gets some more Night Energy. Yeah, I want to play more Night Energy. I agree we had like a pretty good showing with it the first time, where like the deck looked good. It's on my to-do list, but you know, despite the only thing anyone wants to talk about is our bans, I'm having a good time in Modern, and there's like a lot of stuff I'm like really like actively interested in working on and stuff, and we'll get around to it. It is definitely on my to-do list. Maybe you can see if I draw a dud here. No. Play some improvised mana links, I guess. Yeah, I mean, that's always the solution. Play Metallic Rebuke. This card is pretty mediocre, even bad, and it solves, and it has to solve every problem. It just, I don't know. It's just, it just is not a good strategy to be playing Saga Cookbook Asmo at the moment. It is tough. I mean, I'm not gonna not activate the Spellbomb. I'm not gonna not draw a card. Could we pull ahead here? Bowmaster's getting a little out of control. They mill an Archon and they mill a Persist. Nice, nice, Archaeologist. Okay, cool list. Sorry for yet again teasing the experimental Basim Goryo's list. We'll get around to this at some point, but let's do one more with this build. Yeah, Rebuke is also always so telegraphed. It just Rebuke. I don't know. It's just so tough.